Hello, my name is Marcus Catani from Edith Cowan University. I'd like to talk to you about a project that we've called Farmers Matter, which is an industry-led safety improvement initiative, and I'll explain why we need this project in this presentation, and also how you can get involved. As a little bit of background, I just want to make sure that you're aware of several important factors associated with the agriculture industry in Australia, and in fact there's a similar situation elsewhere around the world. So importantly, the agriculture industry has the highest fatality rate in Australia, and also it hasn't changed a great deal after over the last 10 years or so. So this is obviously creating a bit of a focus on research and various other initiatives. And because of that fatality rate, there's been quite a lot of work going on and having a look about what do we need to do. There was one in Western Australia in 2022, which was published in 2023, which is quite interesting in the series of evidence that it provides to do with people's attitude towards preventing fatalities, and also gave a series of recommendations for the government too. There was also a 10-year strategy from Safe Work Australia, which responds to the nation's needs, and the agriculture industry having the highest, or most years it's in the top couple of fatality rates. It gets a mention and is seen as a priority there. Importantly, these two reports and some other research have informed this new project. So I've tried to integrate a whole series of different ideas and requirements into this new project. I mentioned, and as you can see there, the fatality rates. Well, the fatality rate in transport and the fatality rate in construction have improved at a faster rate than the agriculture industry. Now, that's important because there are tried and tested processes that industry has used to reduce the fatality rate. In fact, there's also international standards and guidance associated with how you make a safe workplace. So the inquiries and the strategies are telling us what we need to do, or what outcomes we need, and the initiatives that are tried and tested in other industries tell us a little bit about how we can do that. And also there's been a whole series of agriculture industry initiatives over 20 or 30 years, and some of the people involved in that, in leading it and taking part in that, have also contributed ideas to this project. One of the issues is that we tend to run out of money. So the initiatives will start up and we'll train a series of people, or we'll put in place a series of ideas, and then it stops because it's run out of money. Some of the initiatives that I've seen around the country also in duplicate, so we've got similar things happening in different places. This is obviously a little bit frustrating when we've got this sort of industry performance. So the theme of this project is that we're going to work together. We're going to have a community working together to assist the development of worker safety performance. This is a chart of how we're going to set up this project. Now it's a bit busy, but I'm going to go through several of those parts of this chart for the rest of this presentation. But as you can see, we've got a in the middle here in the green, an agriculture safety CRC. That's a collaborative research centre, And that's because we're going to apply for some funding to start the project from the federal government that run the Collaborative Research Centre programs. Even if we don't get the funding that we're going to apply for, we still think this is a really sensible way to go, and so many people have been involved already in informing this project and how it's going to operate. In the middle there you'll see that we've got 4 themes. Those 4 themes are based on some research and priorities from those reports and the national strategy, as well as a whole series of initiatives that are going on at the moment. So there's work going on in each of these areas, but often for one commodity or one particular state or region. What I'm trying to do here is to create a community so we can share that across the whole of Australia. Okay, let's have a little look at what each of these main sections are. So first of all, we're going to set up a community that comprises farmers, agriculture workers and other industry experts, researchers who are doing work in this area, service providers, and we've got to be a bit careful here that this isn't a way in which we will allow the service providers to sell their products. We can talk about that a bit later on and in more detail, but the services that we're going to provide here will generally be free, and we're going to involve the government. So we're going to get together probably about 30 people in each of those 4 disciplines to work out what do we need to do. We're going to use some of the techniques that have been developed in other industries in Australia and overseas. In particular in Europe and Canada, they have a community approach for the prevention of fatalities and improvement of farmer well-being using this approach. What's in it for the farmers? So the outcome of all of this work is going to be a series of resources for farmers to access, most likely on a website, self-contained packages of information that will assist the farmers to improve performance in their organisation on their farm. However, we know that some of those resources may need some support too, and so the community will be available to people who take part to assist each other in improving performance. So if someone's in the same situation as you, you can ask for some assistance for people who may have implemented that package already. This has been highly successful in other industry types, and there's some really good examples about how that community will help each other out. One of the issues I mentioned earlier is on sustainability. So we're going to have an advisory board that makes sure that we are pointing the industry in the right direction based on performance and the available resources. We'll also have a core group which keeps in touch with external stakeholders, so we can make sure that we're aware of legislative changes. Other partners such as the insurance and finance industry can take part in this. The focus is on worker safety, and that be the focus of the core group. So what do we need to make this all happen? Well, the main thing at the moment is we need people to volunteer to take part in the community initiative, so those 4 different groups that I've mentioned. I've already got quite a lot of people involved, but please take part. I've put a form on the internet site so you can fill in a quick form and take part, and for industry partners I've got a form to fill in there to say that you're committing to a certain amount of in-kind or financial support. Now, as I say, we are going to apply for some funding, which will be several $1 million. we would really like to get some industry participation as well. So if you would like to know more about what we need from a funding point of view or any other part of this project, please don't hesitate to contact me, and we'll keep that website up to date with more information. Thank you very much for your time.